What's happening? Paul Ingram here with Mr. Tom right here, back at College Center. We got some more training for you guys today. We're gonna be working some fundamentals, but I wanna make sure we're gonna be combining a couple of different drills so that way we can develop coordination, and not only just coordination of our own. I'm gonna take advantage of having Tom here with me this weekend so that way we can start working a little bit of that timing and that coordination with a training partner. Now the cool thing is if you do not have a training partner, you can still do these drills with a partner of like a tree, a pole, a heavy bag, a tire stack, anything like that. So you can still train with us. So this lesson is not free. Please subscribe to the channel, smash that thumbs up button, leave a comment below, share this video with your friends, say hi to Tom in the comments below, and let's get training. All right, so here's what we have for today's training, for today's drill. The first half of the drill, we're gonna break it down into two parts. The first part of the drill, we're gonna focus on our basic diagonal strikes. So we have that number 1, downward diagonal, number 2, downward diagonal. We have that upward 3 diagonal, and then that upward 4 diagonal. So we have that 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. Now, the important thing is make sure that these are diagonal strikes. So don't come out where this is kind of flat like a horizontal. And especially on these 3s and these 4s, make sure they're not actually going on the vertical line. Sometimes that happens. We want to make sure that they are on diagonals. That's very, very important. So just to kind of recap, we have that number 1 and number 2, which goes down the X, and then our angle 3 and our angle 4 that go up the X. So let's go ahead and train this with a partner so that way we're developing some coordination, which we're also starting to develop some timing. So how that works is while we are doing this drill together, we want to make sure that our weapons are making contact right here on the center line, right in between us. We don't want to make contact way over here on the side or way over here on the side. We want to make sure it's happening right smack down the middle, right down the center line between both of us. So now we're working that kind of aiming and that timing, or what we call equal timing, and then we can go ahead and go through that. We're going to go through it right here, and then same thing on those low lines right here. We want to make sure that we're making contact right in the middle. Right? We don't want to make contact over here. We don't want to make contact way off on the side. We want to make contact right there in the middle. Okay, pull that through. So we have down the 1, down the 2, up the 3, up the 4. Okay, let's do this a few times, nice and slow like this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And of course, as you're getting better with this, you do want to challenge it and start to speed it up a little bit. All right, so let's see if we can go a little faster now. A little faster now. Faster. How fast can you go? All right, nice. All right, so just kind of start with that. Now, once you have that kind of stationary, then you can start moving around a little bit with it. So we're just going to kind of circle around with it, nice and easy. So here's that 1, 2, 3, 4, and just kind of circle around. Boom. Okay, nice. So make sure that when you're doing your training, you know, there's nothing wrong with training indoors from time to time, you know, in the living room, in the dojo, but you do want to get outside and do some training out in these natural elements because it's going to challenge not only your balance and your agility and your footwork and all that, but it's going to challenge your focus too because you got to have that kind of contact sensitivity with your feet. It doesn't look like much because it's hard for the camera to pick it up, but you know, there's little divots underneath these leaves. There's little slopes. Some spots are a little bit more slippery than others, and you got to kind of pay attention to that. So it opens up your awareness. It opens up your observation. So while you're kind of doing one thing with your drills, you got to pay attention to the other thing as well. And that is what kind of really develops those more functional skills. So that's the first drill, is just working those diagonals. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the second drill. For part 2, let's take a look at the horizontal strikes. So here's the drill for the horizontal strikes. I'm going to come out on the high horizontal. I'm going all the way through. and then I'm gonna come low on this horizontal. I'm gonna hit it and bounce it back. I'm gonna come high on the backhand horizontal, and I'm gonna come low on that forehand, and I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna bounce it back. So we're going all the way through on top, and then bouncing it back on the bottom. All the way through on top, bouncing it back on the bottom. Now, some styles of Kali will call this a fluid strike and a broken strike. And other styles of Kali will call this a loptic and a wittik. A loptic and a wittik. And so it doesn't really matter the terminologies. I just figure that's, kind of fun sometimes to know that stuff. So let's go ahead and work this out with a training partner. Now, there's a little bit of a difference when we're working a horizontal with a training partner. And we're looking at the energy of the lines. So when we're striking out, we don't want to have this absolutely perfectly horizontal, because as you can see, we're just going to whack each other. So we are just going to cant out the weapon just a little bit. But the important thing here is that the energy is horizontal. Okay? So we're going to go horizontal all the way through on that loptic, and then we're going to come low and go wittik, or bounce it back on that low strike. All the way through, fluid on top, and then a broken here on the bottom. Let's work that out a few times. Now you're going to notice that the timing is the same principle that we used on the diagonals. We're looking to make that contact right in the middle between us. Again, we don't want to make contact over here, and we don't want to make contact way over here on the side. We want that to happen right in the middle, because we're learning something very important about timing here. Okay, so make sure that that's what we're looking for. Work this stationary, and then once you have it down, you can start moving around with it. And you're going to notice that we worked all 4 corners on the diagonals. And right now we're also working all 4 corners on the horizontals. So let's just go ahead and move around nice and easy with it. Start slow. You don't have to start, blasting it out. Just kind of getting used to moving around a little bit. You kind of open up the range. Horizontal's got some nice long range in the strikes naturally. And you can get a little closer, a little tighter with them. Yep. So you can work at all these different little kind of minor variations inside of each one of these drills. You can kind of elongate them and work more of that long range. You can tighten them up, work a little bit more of that quartal range. But make sure, isolate the diagonals, get that round in. Isolate the horizontals, get that round in. And then let's move into part 3. We're going to put them all together. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at part 3, bringing the diagonals and the horizontals all together into one drill. So that way we're making these transitions and everything. Very, very simple. So again, these are very basics. This is great training for beginners. I'll also give you guys a little bonus section at the end that if you do not have a training partner, I've got a lot of training partners here. So Tom's not my only training partner here, and I'll show you guys how to do that here at the end. All right, so we're gonna go through it. Diagonals first. Into the horizontals. Back to diagonals. Back to horizontals. So we're just alternating between the 2 drills. Just building some coordination. And again, you start slow, and as you're getting it, let's see if we can speed it up a little bit. Maybe a little faster. A little faster. How fast can we go? Okay, right there. Just work that out. And then you can always start moving around and all that. I'll let you explore that and have fun with it. And again, get outside. Don't be afraid to get outside and experiment, with your Kali in different types of environments, in different type of terrains and things like that. Plus, it's just so nice to get on out, you know? We're in the sun, we're getting some good vitamin D. You know, it helps with, you know, your moods and all that, and decompress from the crazy week of work and, you know, all those things. So it's just always good to get out. So let me go ahead and show you guys now how we can train this in the absence of a partner with something like a tree, a pole, a tire stack, a heavy bag, any kind of vertical object, because Tom is just a vertical object. All right, so just kind of a little bit of a bonus. If you do not have a training partner, like I said, this forest, it is filled with training partners for me. I got a training partner there, oh, everywhere, right? I'm just gonna use a tree, and it doesn't matter the size of the tree. You can use a big, you know, older tree. I'm gonna use this little kind of sapling guy because, you know, he's just kind of hanging out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use him right here. You know, I got a couple of little briars and things like that over here in my environment that I get to play around with. So, you know, a lot of things. So basically, all we have to do is use this as our visual. Here's our 1, our 2, our 3, our 4, our high, low, high, low. Now, if you're using a tire stack, a heavy bag, anything like that that you want to make contact to, then make contact to it. I'm not going to make contact to the sapling right here. I don't want to hurt it, you know, ruin its bark. But you can do these things, right? So you can use that visual. The visual is more important than the actual, you know, hitting of the thing, right? And what I like about using a tree, something that you can is kind of open, is that now you can start to navigate around that object, right? So we can start to work that footwork just like Tom and I did doing the partner version. So now I can kind of move around a little bit, boom, boom. Here, maybe work a little bit on this side, work it out. Here, boom, 1, whoop, stop, boom. Right, and you can kind of start to experiment a little bit, but that's an idea of if you have, you know, trees around, access to a forest preserve, maybe a big standing stone, heavy bag, anything that you can use as a solo training partner. All right, there you got it. Some really great beginner coordination development drills. Take your time with them, spend a lot of time with them, get your rounds in. And to advance your collie training with us, we have a brand new training program that we've just released called Collie Apex. Apex because it's the best top portion of that triangle. It doesn't get any better than that. It's a full-out training course, and then once you have that training course, you can jump into the advanced training, and we have so much awesomeness going on over at the advanced training membership for the Collie Apex members. And over there, you can get access to additional training, additional, you know, how to apply tactics, additional sparring footage that we're putting in there. You can get live classes. You can get one-on-one video coaching, so that way we can correct your form, your techniques. You know, if you're having a hard time learning, you know, figuring out how to apply a particular tactic, you can get that one-on-one video coaching, and then Tom's going to be able to, our coach is going to be able to take you through the process and work with you through that virtual space and actually take you through step by step to make those corrections. So this is an absolute incredible training program. You know, we're always trying to create the best training experience we possibly can for you guys, because that's the most important thing. You know, and as you're getting better in your training, and you know, we're getting together to be able to train with you and everything, it just makes training, it makes the collie experience so much more fun. So go check out the Collie Apex program, go grab it, get in there, get in the Collie Apex members area, so that way you can get that one-on-one video coaching and the additional live classes, the additional, you know, training videos with the, you know, with the advanced tactics, and we're going to be building your skill all the way from a beginner level, if that's where you're at, progressively all the way up. So no matter what skill level your collie is, if you've never grabbed a collie stick before in your life, if you're a seasoned collie practitioner, the program's going to be super beneficial to you. So go check that out. Head on over to colliecenter.com. I got the link right below this video, and then you'll be able to see it right there. As soon as the website pops up, boom, Collie Apex is right there. All right, so thanks so much for hanging out with me. And Tom, make sure again, say hi to Tom in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. It really helps us out when you're showing that type of support and love here at College Center. And then we'll catch you back here for some more training, my friends. All right, get out there and go make nature your Kali dojo. Let's train.